The Library Beyond Midnight. English Story Level 3. Every night, the town's old library closed its doors at exactly 11. The caretaker would sweep the floors, turn off the lamps, and lock every window before leaving. But there was a rumor among students that if someone stayed inside past midnight, the library transformed into something entirely different, a place where books woke up and stories roamed like living creatures. Most dismissed the idea as childish fantasy, but Maya, an insatiably curious girl with a love for hidden truths, couldn't resist testing it. One Friday evening, she hid behind the tall history shelves, waiting quietly as the caretaker made his final rounds. When the lights dimmed and the doors locked, Maya crept out, heart pounding with excitement. At first, everything looked ordinary: silent shelves, dusty tables, old wooden ladders leaning patiently. She almost began to laugh at herself for believing the rumors, but then the clock tower outside chimed 12 times. The change was immediate and breathtaking. Soft golden lines appeared on the spines of books, pulsing like heartbeats. Pages rustled as though waking from sleep. A warm wind swept through the aisles even though the windows were closed. Maya watched in awe as one book slid off a shelf, opened midair, and released a swirl of glowing letters that fluttered like tiny fireflies. Soon entire stories began stepping out of their pages, night shimmering with ink, armor, dragons made of swirling paragraphs, forests formed from green-tinted sentences. The library became a living world, filled with characters laughing, arguing, and wandering between shelves. A small fox made of poetry curled around Maya's ankles, purring in rhyme. She felt like she had stepped into a dream crafted from every tale she had ever loved. But as she explored, a cold shadow moved across the far wall. Unlike the warm light of the others, a tall figure emerged from a thick, weathered book bound in cracked leather. Its pages were torn, its spine worn thin. The figure's form flickered like fading ink. When it noticed Maya, it reached out with an ink-stained hand, whispering not with sound but with a dry rustle. The fox at her feet shivered and darted away. Maya felt a chill run through her. The figure explained that it came from a forgotten story, one that readers had abandoned. As people stopped opening the book, the tale inside had begun to unravel. Characters dissolved, plotlines faded, and soon it would disappear completely. It begged Maya for help, urging her to restore its story by reading it once more. Feeling both pity and responsibility, Maya picked up the old book. The moment she opened it, a gust of stale wind rushed out. Blank spots filled many of the pages, and entire chapters were missing. Maya sat on the floor with determination, piecing together what little remained. She read aloud, filling the silence with trembling words. The more she read, the stronger the figure grew, its outline sharpening, colors returning like ink flowing back into place. But the library trembled. The midnight world did not like stories being changed without permission. Shelves shifted and paper creatures snarled. A storm of loose pages whirled around Maya, tearing at her hair and clothes. The forgotten figure shielded her, urging her to continue. If she stopped now, both the book and the character would vanish forever. Maya kept reading, her voice steady despite the chaos. She'd imagined missing parts, inventing new dialogue and scenes, letting her creativity fill the gaps. The book glowed brighter with each sentence. Finally, the storm quieted, and the library sighed with relief. The forgotten figure bowed to her, now whole again, its story restored and protected from erasure. As the clock chimed 1, the magical world began fading. Characters returned to their pages, forests folded into sentences, and dragons dissolved into sparks of punctuation. Maya placed the restored book gently back onto the shelf. Before vanishing, the fox brushed its poetic tail against her cheek as a silent thank you. When dawn arrived, the caretaker found Maya asleep beside the history shelves, a soft smile on her face. She never told anyone what happened, but every night after that, she made sure to visit the old book, reading it aloud so it would never be forgotten again.